It was not until the last phone call before her death that Liu finally realized Zhongzhu hated her to the bone. Every penny Liu had given him felt disgusting. Every breath he took in the Li family's mansion made him feel filthy and humiliated. Only Liu's death could erase all the humiliation she and her family had imposed on him. Her car suffered brake failure on a winding mountain road, plunged off a cliff, and Liu died filled with regret and grievance. Reborn at the age of 20-1, Liu returned to the day when her parents and Wang Yi, their housekeeper and Zhongzhu's mother, were happily arranging her life. They planned for Liu and Zhongzhu to get engaged first, study abroad together, and marry after graduating back home. Wealthy and generous, the Li family offered to cover all engagement and overseas study expenses, bought a property near the University of Chicago, and planned to buy Zhongzhu a luxury car. They even agreed that their first grandchild would take the Li family surname. Zhongzhu had lived in the Li family home since his second year of junior high. Outwardly cold, aloof and well-misbehaved, he silently agreed to the elders' arrangement, yet his clenched fists revealed suppressed humiliation and resentment. Only Liu, who had died a tragic death in her past life, could see the hidden hatred beneath his facade. Li recalled how Zhongzhu came to live with her family. Wang Yi had worked for the list for years. Knowing her son Zhongzhu ranked top in the city's ski high school while Liu disliked studying, Liu begged her parents to let Zhongzhu stay at their home to tutor her. Later, learning Zhongzhu dreamed of applying to Ivy League universities, Liu used her family's wealth to fund his participation in expensive summer camps and research programs. Though failing to enter an Ivy League school, Zhongzhu was admitted to the University of Chicago. Infatuated with him, Liu had persuaded her father to get her transferred to a college in the same city. They studied abroad, graduated, returned home, and got married as if everything was natural. In the 5th year of their marriage, Zhongzhu tricked Liu into delivering an urgent contract, luring her onto the mountain road. He tampered with her car brakes. When Liu panicked and begged for help on the phone, she only heard Zhongzhu's cold ridicule and ruthless confession. He admitted he had always loved her charity and forced companionship, wishing nothing more than for her to disappear forever. He hung up the phone, leaving her to crash off the cliff. In her rebirth, Liu's father was excitedly arranging their overseas life, preparing housing, furniture and transportation in Chicago, and even considering Zhongzhu's driving license and daily life arrangements. Zhongzhu took the chance to ask for permission to go to Chicago early for a summer academic camp, pretending he wanted to familiarize himself with the environment and take good care of Liu. Just as her father was about to agree, Liu interrupted sharply, saying modern relationships valued free love, and arranged marriage was an outdated feudal custom. Her words plunged the living room into dead silence. Li's parents were stunned. Wang Yi turned pale with panic, fearing her son's bright future would be ruined. Zhongzhu's calm mask cracked instantly, revealing shock, anger and sharp wariness. Her father scolded Liu for being willful and defended Zhongzhu's thoughtfulness. Wang Yi hurriedly urged Zhongzhu to apologize and coax Liu not to ruin his prospects. Zhongzhu suppressed his irritation, pretending to be gentle and soothing, promising to pick her up once the camp ended. Only Li's mother sensed her daughter's abnormal emotions and stopped the argument, overwhelmed by the sorrow and fear of 2 lifetimes. Li rushed into her mother's arms and cried bitterly, releasing the despair of her past death and the pain of betrayal. After calming down, she made her attitude clear to everyone. She and Zhongzhu were mere classmates with no affection at all. She firmly refused engagement and overseas transfer, insisting on staying in her hometown, and demanded Zhongzhu move out of her family's house. Seeing Zhongzhu's pride and inferiority, she decided to set him free without further binding him with money and family favor. Furious at having his plan destroyed, Zhongzhu left with his mother, warning Liu she would regret it. After they departed, Liu persuaded her parents to cut off all financial support for Zhongzhu's studies and overseas plans. She pointed out that Zhongzu was cold-hearted and arrogant, and charity would only be taken as insult. Planting hidden grudges instead, she promised her parents to abandon her playful attitude and enter in their family company as a personal assistant after her sophomore year, preparing to take over the family business. Satisfied with her change, her father agreed to stop all funding for Zhongzu. Liu knew clearly that without the Li family's financial backing, Zhongzu's overseas dream would collapse like bubbles. Liu blocked Zhongzu and his friends on social media, were connected with her long-ignored best friends. Her girlfriends were delighted to see her finally wake up from her one-sided infatuation with Zhongzu, and they made an appointment to relax at Yunqi Mountain Resort. At the resort parking lot, they accidentally ran into Zhongzu and his roommates. Zhongzu had already dropped out of domestic university and was celebrating with his friends. Annoyed, Liu immediately asked her father to take back the luxury Audi previously given to Zhongzu. The two groups met face to face at the elevator. Zhongzu's roommate teased that Liu was still clinging to him. Zhongzu looked displeased and questioned her presence with condescension. Liu retorted sharply, "Walk straight into the elevator with her girlfriends?" Ignoring him completely. Later, Zhongzu tried to book luxury suites with the supplementary consumption card Liu had given him, unaware she had already suspended it. The card failed to swipe, putting him in an awkward and embarrassing situation. His roommates were shocked, and Liu's friends mocked him openly. Zhongzu angrily blamed Liu for deliberate revenge. Liu replied calmly that she had every right to stop her own card, mocking him for growing used to relying on others' money and taking charity for granted. Forced to endure humiliation, Zhongzu paid the huge hotel fee himself and left awkwardly with his friends under strange stares. Later at the resort's strawberry garden, Liu and her girlfriends came across Zhongzu's roommates again. Zhang Hao took the lead to confront Liu, accusing her of cutting off his funds and taking back the car, controlling Zhongzu with financial means. He advised Liu to compromise, praising Zhongzu's looks and prospects and warning her not to drive him away with willfulness. Annoyed by their arrogance, Liu refuted them directly, exposing their blind loyalty and unreasonable meddling. Zhongzu rushed over during the argument, misunderstanding Liu was deliberately pestering him and accusing her of using childish tricks to force him to take her abroad. Liu dismissed him coldly and told him to stay away. 2 weeks later, while pruning roses in her villa's glass greenhouse, Liu was confronted by an angry Zhongzu. He demanded to know why the Li family had stopped his funding. Without financial guarantee, the University of Chicago refused to issue his visa documents, completely ruining his overseas plan. Cornered, Zhongzu lowered his pride and compromised, promising to take her to the summer camp together and begging her not to obstruct him anymore. Liu saw through his self-righteousness and repeated firmly that she would never go abroad and would stay in her hometown. Zhongzu stubbornly believed she was just throwing a tantrum and even assumed she had dropped out of domestic university on impulse. Liu pointed out she had never applied for dropout, mocking him for being too conceited to take her words seriously and rashly quitting domestic university on his own. Shocked and terrified, Zhongzu turned deathly pale, realizing he had lost both his domestic study qualification and overseas opportunity. Falling into complete despair, Liu pierced through his inner secret. He had always hated her and envied her born wealth and privileged life that he could never attain in a lifetime. His years of hypocritical pretense collapsed instantly. He frantically denied his hatred and envy, claiming he loved her deeply. Liu told him she was now setting him free, granting him the dignity he had always craved. So he no longer needed to endure the so-called humiliation by relying on the Li family. When summer vacation arrived, Liu turned in her father's company and planned her life steadily, without the Li family as support. Zhongzu fell into decline. He sold luxury gifts Liu had given him, borrowed money humbly from former classmates, and lowered his arrogant pride everywhere. Desperate, he came to Liyue's home with his mother Wang Yi to beg for mercy. Wang Yi tearfully pleaded with Liyu not to ruin Zhang's future. Liyu refused calmly, saying Zhang Zu had strong integrity and financial help would only humiliate him. At that moment, Zhang Zu suddenly lost his sanity and revealed he also retained memories of his past life. He cried that after Liyue's death in his previous life, he tried hard to please her parents, but still ended up in prison. Given a second chance at rebirth, he was convinced Liu had returned only to take revenge and crush him into the dust. Overwhelmed by madness and resentment, he pulled out a fruit knife intending to drag Liu to die with him. In the critical moment, Wang Yi rushed forward to stop him, and the knife accidentally stabbed herself. Watching her mother lying dying, Zhang Zu collapsed into desperate screams, completely losing his gentle and aloof disguise and revealing his inner ferocity. Liu called the police immediately, and security subdued the frenzied Zhang Zu. Wang Yi died on the spot. Zhang Zu was arrested on charges of intentional homicide. A year later, considering his mental state and the case circumstances, the court sentenced him to death with a 2-year reprieve, and Zhang Zu gave up appealing. Though disappointed not to get an immediate death sentence, Liu is settled for the outcome. She finally broke free from the doomed-fated love of her past life, stayed by her parents' side and lived a stable and peaceful life. Confined in prison with memories of 2 lifetimes, Zhang Zu suffered far more than death. Tortured by the gap between his former glory and present downfall, trapped in endless regret, resentment and loneliness for the rest of his life, Liu escaped the wrong relationship, guarded her family and took control of her own destiny, and embraced a brand new life of peace and freedom.